This week we're going to be talking about Xbox adhering to 3 Call of Duty games for PlayStation. Talking about the Star Wars games that got announced, minus the Battlefront, and also the Cartel using GTA to recruit Mules. All here coming up as the Gamers for Life podcast. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast, where each and every Saturday we discuss all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, my right-hand man, my ABXY, Arthur. What's up, man?
Nothing much. I'm a real boy again because I was sick for like 5 days. Yeah, I had some stomach issues.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was. People talk about cleansing. I don't like it. Dude, after like the third day, it's like when like you hear stories about people like contract the bubonic plague or smallpox.
Yeah,
dude. When like day 5 came of me, having those stomach issues of just you're gonna uncontrollably lose weight like crazy. I'm like, do I have fucking cholera? Like,
oh shit.
Like, it's you're an adult at some point, like how well or how hard you get sick, and it wasn't food poisoning. Turned out it was like a reaction to like a type of milk, and it's funny. Because it's for me at least, it was like lactose free milk.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, you want to go healthy, whatever. Why do it? Because my housemate's lactose intolerant, and I make smoothies and stuff. So make smoothies. I bought the lactose free stuff, and it sucks because of all the fake milks. That one tastes the best.
Damn. Like
Silk and almond milk, they're good. They're not bad, but like that Kirkland lactose free kind, taste wise, best. And turns out it wants to just fucking kill me.
Oh, glad you're alive and well here. Really quick before we get started here on the show, be sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. We'd really appreciate it. Based on our metrics, about 80 to 90% of our listeners and viewers, mainly viewers, obviously, since it's YouTube, are not subscribed. So be sure to subscribe. Once you hit that, the subscribe and then the notification bell, like button, you'll be able to get updates on when the new episodes are coming out, video game clips, etc. You will not regret it, I promise you. And then also, obviously, on the Spotify, be sure to follow, or whatever podcast application of your choice, follow us on there, subscribe on there. And if you want to follow Arthur with the with the Twitch, he's been managing a couple of different gameplays, such as the Extraction has been a really big title, Rainbow Six Extraction.
So fun.
Really, definitely I've heard. Be sure to go to linktree.com/gamers for life. That'll be the one-stop link to all those things, including the stream. Just to talk about a little bit before you get started on the list, you talked about Rainbow Six Extraction being a lot of fun, huh?
Dude, okay, if I can like sum it up, it's really interesting. It feels like Rainbow Six Extraction is both what Back 4 Blood and GTFO was supposed to be.
Okay.
Do you remember GTFO? GTFO, it came out, I feel like it's doing more popular on PC than console. Yeah. GTFO, in terms of description, very similar. Horror-esque. Well, GTFO is more horror. I would say definitely it was advertised as horror. Yeah. Like horror, tactical, cooperative shooter.
Okay.
And like Extraction, there is difficulty and challenge there. Like definitely a tactical thing, but from what I've seen from GTFO, it's kind of like Aliens Fireteam Elite. I know I'm like going down this chain. Where, again, nothing bad on face value. Yeah. It's just something isn't really letting it really hit its stride with the fan base or the player count. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know if it's just oversaturation of just how many games are out, release date or what. But now I mentioned Back 4 Blood actually has issues. That's a drawback. Again, I would argue Left 4 Dead had some of the best AI. Yeah. All of a sudden you go from that to Back 4 Blood, where Back 4 Blood's AI will get 0 kills every fucking game. So really it hit its mark. But again, Rainbow Six Extraction, again, for me this is the most unbiased I can get because I had no plan on buying the game. bam, it went on Game Pass day one. It's super fun.
Nice, man. That's cool. Definitely
communication. I would argue if you're gonna try it, I would argue play the modes, or like how about this, play by yourself or even with one other friend rather than doing quick play.
Yeah.
Because, or at least if they do quick play and they don't have a mic, you're fucked.
Oh wow. Okay.
And there's a mechanic where a couple mechanics where, number one, the way your health ends at an end of a match, your operator is at the health. So if you barely survive, that's how if the game kind of forces you to play other operators, which I like, because I'm like, watching the trailers, I'm like, why are there 20 operators? I'm gonna play 2 characters. No. The other thing, if you die in a match, your player gets left there, and now you have to go back to that map to literally extract them. Again, another mechanic that forces you to play other operators in the game. But again, when playing with randos, dude, I've literally had people call for the extract before I get there, and I just get left behind.
Oh man,
and now I have to fucking load another mission to go back. And if I played with another quick play mission, and same thing, and they went bad. We all died. So now I'm out 2 operators just because of rando shit. I've been lucky. I've played matches where people have mics, but I've noticed unless you're playing a harder difficulty, the earlier difficulty, no one really uses mics.
Because it's like, guys, this is not Call of Duty.
Yeah, like no, it's you could, like, if you watch people stream it or watch clips, you could definitely tell the Siege players from non-Siege players. Like it's Rainbow Six Siege. It's not Rainbow Six Extraction though. It's Rainbow Six Siege or Rainbow Six Extraction. It's really fun. It's on Game Pass, both on console and PC, and of course xCloud as well.
Nice. Very cool, man. Well, hey, that's definitely I'll be looking forward to it. I downloaded it, just trying to get used to it before I put someone else's player life at risk playing the game. It's like, what the fuck? So interesting topic here today. We're going to go right into it for one of the biggest stories that occurred earlier this week, as far as for more detail, or the back half of last week. So last episode, just to get everyone up to speed who didn't watch the last episode.
Oh, dude, so much.
Microsoft bought Activision, Blizzard, and King for $69 billion, basically, if you rounded it up. And one of the big things that we were talking about with Church, who was our guest for the last episode, shout out to Church, we were kind of talking about what's going to happen with Call of Duty, and we got some information, as I was mentioning to you guys, as far as for Sony's master plan of, pointing their finger and saying, "Oh, I hope they adhere to their contracts before 2023 of June." And there was a conference call apparently, and according to this website here, or just reporting it on VideoGameChronicle.com, Activision is committed to 3 more Call of Duty games that will be on PlayStation, including Warzone 2. Which is definitely going to be nice for PlayStation to get that cash, because I was looking at a report after they were saying that without, I think I put it on the news on the Instagram for the Gamers for Life.
I know where you're going with this. You did.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So be sure to follow that if you're not, because I post some news and stuff on there prior to the shows. It was like $260 million or something, like a year.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because Call of Duty is so fucking big. As much as I called out Bethesda saying, yeah, of course those games are going to be fucking exclusive. That was also when I thought 7 million. That was also when I thought 7 billion was the big number.
Yeah.
Before Xbox threw out that fuck you 69 billion amount. But on face value, Fallout and Bethesda compared to Call of Duty, all consoles, including PC, or at least when it comes to Sony console, it's not close. It's nowhere near close.
Yeah.
And of course Xbox will lose money. Now we have a figure. It's estimated. Xbox will lose about like 200 plus. 250 is like something million annually.
Crazy. To
make it exclusive. Which we kind of called. We were like, yeah, they're not. And because remember, as we mentioned, there's also Call of Duty Mobile. So it's like, there's too much value at stake with an IP like fucking Call of Duty.
Exactly. Yeah, because I know prior to this, there were some like conflicting reports and people kind of guesstimating. They're like, "Oh, it's gonna stay on PlayStation," and I was thinking, "Well, it's gonna stay on PlayStation until June of 2023."
Yeah, like number one, this isn't like tomorrow thing. It's no. The other thing too is, which is still currently rumored, but we hope, and again, this goes with something we mentioned last episode, to at least in terms of like, I can't think of the word, but like how you think about a company, people think about Xbox when it comes to like quality. We're hoping both as Microsoft fans and now the fan base with how shitty Vanguard is, Call of Duty fans are hoping we now break the cycle of annual releases.
Yeah.
That's currently rumored.
Right, exactly. We don't know yet. Part of me is wondering too, just as like a random like what if, is how they will make the differentiation of the Xbox version within these 3 years. Like, do you think there's going to be some exclusive content on Xbox during, or not? Well, not saying 3 years, 3 games. Do you think there's going to be some type of slightly exclusive things? Just to kind of wean people over. I guess not to wean them, but to get them used to, hey, this is no longer on PlayStation.
To kind of almost quote Phil Spencer, because of how at least verbally, quote unquote, anti-console war he's been.
Yeah.
I hope not, because as of I shouldn't Call of Duty, but I was there during our Argulate's second golden era, following the success of Modern Warfare, its original launch.
Yeah.
And what ended up making it shittier is we started doing those annual fucking launches.
Right. And
then 2, as an Xbox player, there was the whole exclusive Sony pre-order bullshit.
Yeah.
So again, to kind of, both as a Microsoft customer, no, I'm hoping there's not exclusive Microsoft shit. And then also 2, to go back on Phil Spencer's words, where he's again I say verbally because he says, I'm not in a console war, and it's 69 billion. There shouldn't be any Microsoft pre-order exclusive shit. Now if he wants to do a big fuck you move, he can make Universal. It's like, hey, pre-order the game, and all of a sudden it's all green shit instead of blue. Instead of the Sony blue, it's all green shit. Like, you know what I mean? That'd be a big fuck you. Like, pre-order the game and you get like a warthog skin for your vehicle or some shit. I don't know how fucking Warzone works. But again, that is a potential. Just, hey, fuck you, Jim Ryan. Hey, Sony customers, you pre-ordered the game. Cool, you get all this green shit.
Yeah, because you would think that he would show his nuts just a little bit.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Dude, I mean, the man dropped 69 billion.
Yeah.
Like, if he wants to walk in with a big dick Microsoft energy and shove it in Jim Ryan's face, he has 69 billion reasons to.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to read this quote here that he was talking about kind of after the meeting that they had. It says here in quote, I had good calls this week with leaders at Sony, he tweeted. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and to our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship, end quote. Very cool. He's always been a class act, that guy. It's hard to hate Phil Spencer. I mean, he's like we talked about before, Arthur. I mean, he saved Xbox. During that time, he's just a class act, man.
He's a class act when Xbox was shitting itself with Xbox TV and Xbox Connect. Versus,
those are dark days,
dude. Yeah,
those are dark.
That was one of the shittiest like E3 or like fucking presentations. Like, oh cool, what games are we getting? And then there was like, remember there was that drinking game of everyone take a shot every time they say Xbox TV. And by the time the showcase was done, they talked more about Xbox TV than games. And we're like,
that was so troubling. My God, I remember we had GameStop opening, having my phone on, and I'm like, wait, so we're announcing a video service, a TV service? Like, what is happening?
Which is funny because now Sony's announced its soon-to-be streaming service, which we predict will not succeed. Because it's like
their movie service, right?
Yeah. It's because it's like, hey, they have a movie service. Oh, that means your Uncharted movie's gonna be on it, right?
I'm so mad at them. I kind of want to, I want to talk about that now. Because I had it on the bottom of the list, but I want to talk about that now.
Did I jump?
No, you didn't jump at all. This is one of the last things I put on here, but it just makes me angry. I want to talk about the other side of the fence here.
Okay, cool. Joe and I sent notes of what to talk about, and like, even though it's only 5 bullet points or something like that, it's like, I still, Joe knows, it's no secret. I skim it. So I'm like, oh fuck, did I not read the one line of 5 things or whatever?
No,
it's like, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good. No, man, I just want to get on my soapbox here as far as the other side of the fence for Sony, man, because I was talking about for the last episode as far as just how it just doesn't really seem like they have a plan that is sustaining and into the future. I hear that there's supposed to be some type of announcement the 1st of February. That's kind of the rumor that's been going on. But when I see articles like this, and when I say like this, I mean this IGN article that is titled "Uncharted devs seem to want to make another sequel. It's a world we want to see more of." Like,
the story finished.
What are you doing?
The story's done.
Well, I mean, they can if they have a really good writing team, if they want to make another game, why not? You know what I'm saying? Like,
if it's anything like the writing team or the direction, compared to Last of Us 1 versus the divisive Last of Us 2, that's gonna draw a lot of people away. Like, if it's on face value, we can agree Last of Us 2 was divisive, right? Just now, I'm not gonna get into the why. We can just say it was divisive. So what I'm saying is, if they advertise, they announce a headliner by the writing team behind Last of Us 2, and they announced like a possible sequel to Uncharted, a continuation or whatever they call a standalone Uncharted game, on face value, people won't jump at that as much as an Uncharted game should be jumped at.
But is it for certain that same team writes The Last of Us? I don't think it is. I think Neil Druckmann is pretty close on it.
I just think Naughty Dog. But what I'm saying is, if Sony decides to make that a marketing thing, that'll be a bad choice.
I don't think they will. I do get what you're saying, because there was a lot of gamers that were like, it was very risky what they did. I think from a stories perspective, I was fine with it. From a gameplay perspective, like, we had an episode about it, I almost stopped playing it.
Yeah, gameplay and character development. But again, so that's what I'm saying. If they decide to do this, and they say, and then they market it as the same team that brought you Last of Us 2, I don't think people will be as hyped for it on face value if they just announce it without that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they'll do that, though, because they haven't done that for all the Uncharted games they've made so far.
Yeah, because I think it is a separate Naughty Dog thing.
Yeah,
Naughty Dog, Santa Monica versus Naughty Dog, not Santa Monica.
Yeah. But yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. But just in general, man, and then also, I know the team that was either they made the HD remake of Jak and Daxter. They would love to make another one, but it's not on their chopping block of Sony's prioritization of block.
Yeah, I would say, Jarrell, it's not a blockbuster game. Even though, now here's the thing, again, it's like, sometimes I'm not good with describing things, so I just use examples. It's like, Jak and Daxter for me is on par with a Ratchet and Clank. It's just a buddy, good. It's like for example, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank are in this category, and then Uncharted, Last of Us is in this category.
Yeah.
But to me, it should all be in the same team. And look at Ratchet and Clank. It was nominated for Game of the Year. And people were talking about the Game of the Year nominee even early into its release.
Yeah.
So it's like so that type of game again, which is like in this category over here, yet is still can be contend with its other game of the year contenders, like Last of Us, like Uncharted, which all game of the year. That's why we're still mad at that phrase. We're going back to an old thing we mentioned, how Jim Ryan was a focus on blockbuster games, which as we know is which means like indie games on smaller developers, smaller games.
Yeah, you're right. No, you're right. I definitely agree. It's very frustrating as a Sony customer. It's funny. I had a doctor's appointment, or I saw one of my doctors today, and he was just like, "Yeah, I bought this PS5, but."
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
He's like, "How does it do it?"
I thought you were saying the doctor's appointment. The doctor's like, high blood pressure. Fucking Jim Ryan, dude.
He's like, goddamn Jim Ryan grinds my gears.
Like, if you're a doctor for Jim Ryan, dude, you want to take like a break from the podcast to stop bringing? If that's the case, I feel like this is enabling your high blood pressure.
High blood pressure. Fucking Jim Ryan.
But, at least now, I haven't. I mean, we could spoil the fuck of it. It's how old of a game. I haven't played the Uncharted series because I haven't owned a PS3 or 4 or 5.
Don't spoil it. I'm one of those weirdos that haven't finished 4.
I was gonna say you could spoil it for me because I don't know the fuck.
Oh no! You know what makes me upset too? What? This makes zero sense. You know how Sony has been making PC versions of games that came out
years ago,
14, 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Why is that marketed towards me? Why am I in that market?
Well, seeing how God of War is like topping Steam right now, it's you and a ton of other fucking people.
Dude, I mean, not 14, 15 years ago, but just games that came out in 2016, like, why are they marketing towards me? Like, because I remember when Jim Ryan, he kind of did a light jab at that as far as like, yeah, that makes sense to release PC games that came out 4 years ago versus Game Pass. Sure, that makes a lot of sense. He said something like that. Right?
Yeah, and it wasn't like even, it wasn't even satirical. He was like, no, that makes sense. And we're like, ha.
Yeah, we're like, does it though?
We're like, Game Pass releases day one. Shit, what the fuck are you talking about?
Like, because I know it's funny because there are certain people on PC because they released God of War for PC.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, this actually runs better than like the console. Like a lot of people are having a good time, but that shouldn't be a huge like chunk of their marketing mix. Like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, yes, maybe I am excited for the Thief's End when it comes out, for PC, but I'm just like, is this a part of your guys' maniacal plan?
And do you think now with the success of God of War on PC, do you think now motivate them to not wait fucking half a decade to release games on PC?
I think so. Because I know there are certain games that have a really bad rap for PC versions, Grand Theft Auto being one of them, which is actually a really good segue.
A ton. Again, not to go into the many examples of why, I don't understand the quote unquote the term master race when it comes to PC, because again, I haven't played games that fucking quote unquote break my Xbox, or it's like unplayable. Like we talk about games unplayable on console, then the category of unplayable on PC is like it's not a joke. Like literally, you cannot play it on PC.
Yeah.
Like Assassin's Creed Unity.
So you can play that anywhere.
Dude,
I can play that on console.
But speaking of segue.
But yeah. So yeah. I mean, speaking of. You know what? I'm gonna roll it back a bit because
pull a Forza Horizon, fucking rewind that shit. Oh, hit a wall. Don't worry about it. By the way, any diehard Gran Turismo racing fans out there, yeah, Forza has a rewind mechanic. Try it out. It's awesome.
Oh yeah. You're helping me out with these segues. But yeah, let us know in the comments, I guess, if you're excited for Gran Turismo, because that's the next big Sony game coming out in I want to say in March. But back on the other side of the fence. I know we talked about last episode, Arthur, as far as for, hey, how soon can they make back this $69 billion, right?
Yeah.
And one of the big things I thought was really interesting is that they actually released the reporting for how they did last year.
Prior to the acquisition.
Exactly.
So that's worth mentioning.
Exactly. Absolutely worth it. So, again, Video Games Chronicle Title's article is Xbox posts record annual revenue as Series XS sales estimate over 12 million, and says Microsoft's gaming division generated over $16 billion in revenue last year. Now, that's in revenue. That's not net sales, but that's a lot of fucking revenue for 1 year for their specific, platform, which is huge.
And good side, bad side, that's actually better for net because console sales were down everywhere because of the shortage.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
So once consoles become more available, that potential gap between the overall revenue and net should increase.
It should increase, definitely. And then another factor, too, which will actually be something that'll help them out once the acquisition is complete, is for King, that does the
mobile games.
The mobile games, which is really the big generator. They earned $2.1 billion in 2020. They didn't show the metrics for 2021, but they're making some money, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, we always joke about little Timmy stealing the parents' credit card. Well,
how much money is this stolen credit card?
I was gonna say secretly. This is me at least. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I picture like the Candy Crush audience as like moms and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like
it is.
Yeah. So as we make fun of little Timmy stealing the parents' credit card. Fucking Candy Crush Jessica's over here fucking spending money. I don't want to say Karen just because it's too much.
Yeah.
Plus, I didn't want to link a Karen anywhere near fucking gaming. Keep that bitch as far away from me.
Seriously.
Any manager on earth.
For real. But yeah, so I just thought it was interesting to look at these numbers just because we can kind of guess what it's going to look like. And then also, one of the recent metrics too that was announced was that Game Pass is at over 25 million subscribers, right? Which is great.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that last week. Yeah.
And then, but I guess my other worry, not really a worry per se, but it makes me curious on the maintenance around Game Pass, right? Because I know they're going to be cycling out titles similar to Netflix. Where I was like, oh, this is going to be gone soon. I'm wondering how much that process costs compared to their subscriber sales, so that should be a really interesting thing. But I think that this mobile deal, even though people like you and me, we don't really care for those type of games, huge income generator back to the back door. To give an idea for how powerful mobile game sales is for Apple, like we talked about during the Epic Apple trial, was it 70% of their revenue is from the App Store, not even their laptops, not their phones.
Yeah, not their stupidly overpriced hardware. Fucking stupid Apple iPhones and laptops. Yeah, I said it. Fuck you. I don't care. Stupidly fucking priced. Yeah, their money comes from mobile. Now again, this year again, I argue you're gonna see a lot of reports when this quarter is over or when we get to June. Now that revenue wise, that again, when we mention mobile, you cannot mention mobile without China. Again, it's just a huge marketplace for mobile purchases. It has been the Chinese marketplace. So a couple things with this revenue. I'm curious to see what the quarterly reports going to look like for everybody.
Yeah.
To see how much the China crackdown on games will affect revenue. But again, like Church mentioned last week, Microsoft really hasn't got into the mobile market. So this is almost, I would say, okay, on a large scale, not to say they don't have anything in the mobile market, but on a large scale, this is all a new source, a new massive significant source of revenue for them.
Yeah.
And then secondly, just for some math real quick, I just Googled it, 2021, because we're in 22 now. Yeah, because I forgot what fucking year it was. Activision Blizzard posted 8.09. I want to see if that magic word is net. 8.09 billion US dollars in 2020.
Okay.
Annual revenue.
Okay.
So that's not 21, and that's also not net. But in 2020, 8.09 billion.
Okay, so yeah, so it seems like if as far as like the average math that we're kind of concocting, they'll probably make it back under 10 years, probably like 8-9 years. That's my guess.
Yeah, again, especially with the mobile thing, which again, I shit on, but with an asterisk, I still shit on the mobile market. We mentioned it in brief with Tencent last episode. Again, now that China has cracked down on its gaming, again, with a huge chunk of that is the mobile market.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that companies that were previously ignoring their major IPs that were focusing on mobile, looking you fucking CD Projekt Red. Remember, a significant amount of their focus went from fixing Cyberpunk to surprise, there's a Witcher mobile game.
Right.
So to connect those dots, I'm hoping that China cracked down on it, we're gonna see on a large scale less of a focus on these shitty fucking mobile games and go back to the foundation that made this industry what it fucking is.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be, have the teams in place for both. When you pull away from one big title that they didn't have fixed in the first place to work on a mobile thing that no one asked for, that's a fucking problem. Yeah. So I agree. I think when you have teams established for both, it's like, fine, make your money. But yeah, if you have people that, they paid $60 for a game that doesn't work, and then we're going to work on this mobile. No, you're fucking not. You're going to sit down. Work on the shit that I bought that didn't work.
I was almost hoping the same week that happened, Xbox would announce Witcher 3 is coming to Game Pass, which either it was or it is. Don't quote me, but I feel like that happened.
Oh, really?
Something. I don't know.
I need to play that again. That is a classic.
It is.
Well, that's what makes me so mad with CD Projekt Red, but anyway.
But I was gonna say that same week that story came out that one of the possible potential reasons why Cyberpunk's taking so long to fix is a significant amount of its team is focusing on the mobile game, The Witcher.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that same week, Xbox announces boom, Witcher's on Game Pass, which mean, oh, you want to play that shitty fucking mobile game? Witcher 3's on xCloud, bitch. Play that thing anywhere. Play the full fucking game anywhere.
Exactly. And you can play it anywhere.
As a type of mic, but you can play anywhere you want. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, hey, mobile gamers. xCloud. You don't have to, play little dot connected things. Play games.
Yeah, exactly. And much more games, too, were announced earlier this week. This is a pretty big story that launched earlier this week. So we talk about these Star Wars games, right? And, when it comes to some of the Star Wars games that come to mind, obviously we think of, Jedi Fallen Order, great game. Battlefront, not so much, at least for the recent one.
Yeah.
But there's a recent development reported. This is for PCMag.com, but EA is developing 3 Star Wars games, and specifically not really EA, but Respawn. But one of those games is not Battlefront. So I guess we should be happy about that.
Have you played Battlefield 2042? We're very happy with that. We're very happy with that.
The reason why I say that is because, yes, we don't want we don't want DICE to work on another Battlefront. They failed. But what if a different
how do you not have a fucking scoreboard in a multiplayer game? Sorry.
Right? No, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's very ridiculous.
Fucking Knockout City, the dodgeball game we played had a fucking scoreboard.
But I guess that's kind of my point as far as it would be nice to give that to someone who knows what the fuck.
Well, here's the thing. This story is linked to another story we covered. It says it's because the phrasing is after these 3 games, EA is going to stop working on Star Wars games. I believe the reason for that is what else happens around that time. EA loses its exclusivity to Star Wars IPs.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Remember Lucas? Remember it came out that at a certain time, EA will lose exclusivity. So Star Wars games will still exist, but EA won't have a grasp on it. And real quick, before you say Lego Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, that's different. Lego anything is literally a different IP.
Yeah.
Lego as a company to make toys gets its IP its rights from that company separately,
right?
And then its gaming rights is its own thing. So before it's like, oh, if you want to play that, play Lego. Lego's a whole other thing. It's literally a whole other IP world,
right? Exactly.
But again, so there is a chance somebody else might get the rights to Battlefront and do a good job, and I'm trying to think who else might.
Yeah,
because or maybe they pass I would say pass the baton off to another developer to do a remake.
Yeah,
but at the same time, remakes recently have also fucked up too. Blizzard fucked up the Diablo 2 remake. The GTA remakes are shit. So it's like we can't just freaking remakes anymore.
Exactly. Let me read this snippet here from EA.com about this, reported announcement. So it says here in quote, "We are excited to continue working with the superly talented developers at Respawn," said Douglas Riley, VP at Lucasfilm Games, said that they have demonstrated excellence in telling epic Star Wars stories along with best-in-class gameplay across different genres, and we're looking forward to bring more amazing experiences to the galaxy far, far away, end quote. Building on the previous successes of the EA relationship, this new collaboration highlights the trust and mutual respect shared between the world-class teams at EA Respawn Film Games, said Sean Shoptaw, SVP of Walt Disney Games, said, fostered by the expertise and passion in each team, we will create thrilling original games for diverse audiences across the Star Wars galaxy, end quote. Actually, let me read this one thing here as well. So it says, working with Lucasfilm Games on a new FPS in the Star Wars galaxy is a dream come true for me, as this is a story I've always wanted to tell, said Peter Hirschman, game director at Respawn. Peter previously worked as a VP development at LucasArts and executive producer on the original Star Wars Battlefront games. Hirschman and the team at Respawn have just begun to work on the title. So we know that one of them is going to be a first-person shooter, which is interesting. I guess slightly stepping away from the Star Wars universe, do you think Titanfall is in trouble? Like Titanfall 3?
Yes.
There's going to be one?
I put Titanfall and Gears on the same boat in terms of those companies are focused on other things.
Yeah.
Mainly fucking Battle Royales. Respawn's focused on Apex. Epic is focused on Fortnite. Now, as we mentioned, Coalition are kind of the people that make it. But again, we've learned that these companies can, again, put focus, on X, Y, and Z. Again, with Fortnite being Fortnite, Apex being Apex. Again, how I feel about the future of Gear, how we collectively feel about the future of Gear 6 is how I feel about the future of Titanfall 3. That's my thing is and EA I forget if it was a rumor or confirmed that someone posted like EA has given the thumbs up to the possibility of the next Titanfall. But I forget if that was confirmed or not, and even if it was, how much focus do you see Respawn taking away from Apex?
No, yeah, you're right. We did talk about that. They gave the okay, but yeah, who knows if those same plans are even into effect at this point, right?
And real quick, I'm on my phone real quick. I'm not fucking looking at memes. I'm doing sort of stuff because we always hear about 3 mystery games. I'm trying to see if the KOTOR remake is a part of this. Because KOTOR is being made by, I had to Google and say, okay, KOTOR, the new KOTOR remake is being made by Aspyr.
Yes.
And here's the question I'm waiting for. Who owns Aspyr?
Right.
If it's EA, boom, then there we go.
Yeah, who's their publisher?
Saber.
Okay.
So Saber
separate from EA.
Saber's does that require who owns Saber? Hey,
Tencent. No.
Dude, oh my god, dude! If I swear to God, Tencent shows up, I'm throwing my phone across the fucking room. I don't know. It mentions subsidiaries, and then it mentions Saber's a part of Embracer, which is also partnered with TH Nordic. I swear. So this is again when we mentioned monopolies and stuff last time with this massive purchase of Activision Blizzard.
Yeah,
this is what it's like. This is how you have to figure out who truly owns what.
I remember Embracer. We talked about that. They're like a conglomerate publishing company or some shit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me just Google it. Does EA own Embracer? that's
a good way to.
There you go.
Sorry. Find out.
It's just because again, seriously, like no, like if like so many things, like anything you drink that's an American company, there's a 50-50 chance it's owned by Pepsi or Coke. Any American snack you own, 50-50 chance again it's owned by Pepsi or Coke.
Yeah, maybe
Lay's. Embracer Group, formerly Nordic Games, is a Swedish. No, okay, bam. There you go. No, EA is not based in Sweden. That's all I needed to hear. Okay, so sorry to kind of to derail that, but it's because as we know, sometimes we hear of like quote unquote mystery games or secret games, but sometimes they've already told us that's one of those. Again, I still ask myself, has it been confirmed? Have we just not been paying attention to that classic, to the old announcement that there's going to be a Star Wars game made by, quote, a publisher you'll never guess? No one's officially announced that's
true.
No one has officially announced that was it. I would argue that's that game being made by a publisher, quote, you'll never guess. I'll bet that's that new Star Wars game that got announced. What was it? The Video Game Awards.
Uh-huh.
That's by the people behind Two Souls, that company. The Foe and the one that did Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, okay, yeah. Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream. There you go.
Yeah.
I would argue Quantic Dream, their game. I would argue that's potentially the game by a developer you'll never guess.
That'd be interesting.
But no, with how many Star Wars games have been announced, no one's officially said, "Hey, remember that thing?"
Right.
That you'll never guess. I want to know. I want to know.
Yeah, somebody tell us.
And I want to laugh and put it in and just shove it in your face, Drell. If it's, where we're going with this, if it's that fucking Farmville,
oh Jesus,
that Star Wars Farmville game coming for the Switch.
Yeah, that would be terrifying. I would hate for that to be the actual.
You'll
never guess. Yeah, never guess.
Every time I hear a Star Wars game announcement, I immediately go back to, is this the game you never guess? But no, because
I get PTSD immediately.
Again, the developer you'll never guess. Anything under EA does not count.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm mad. I want a Squadrons 2. Squadrons was a fun game, but you can tell they were scared. Squadrons was a fun game, but there was a lack of content. Now it was only a $40 game. To balance that, that's fine, but we played it. It's a fun game. It's gorgeous.
That's a good point.
Gorgeous game, and also if you have VR, we mentioned how there's VR games, and then games compatible with VR. Those are separate. VR games are like Beat Saber, like that's a VR game, but Star Wars Squadrons was compatible with VR, and for VR players, I think that was either game of the year. That was a potential game of the year contender because of how immersive it was in your cockpit. Yeah. So it's like they put focus on it, but not too much because they were nervous, still following the backlash of Battlefront 2 and all those microtransactions and shit.
Yeah,
and it was a fun game. People say, "Oh, we want Starfighter." That was a Starfighter, and it was a fun game. There was classes, there were squads. It's just I felt like they were too scared to go all in.
No, you're absolutely right. It's a great point. There was a lack of confidence when that game was coming out, because even when they were releasing it and people were like, "Oh yeah, this is fun," they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing any more content for this." Like,
it was like that was announced super fast.
That was really. It was
fast. Like a month. It was like because you and I were playing it.
Yeah.
It was at max. I know I'm overstating it. 2 months. Like 2 months after the game dropped, it felt like a month. I'm gonna say a month. Because again, it was stupidly fucking fast,
crazy fast.
Like
bro.
It felt like a month of the game after the game came out. EA said we're done supporting it,
right?
And that came on the heels, and it's really funny because that came on the heels of everyone saying this game's amazing, give us more content. Yeah. Like, we want more. Like, we love it. I wonder if sales wise or profit wise, and again, this is a question we've gone back and forth a lot, was affected because remember it eventually went on Game Pass following the EA Play merger thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I remember it popped up on there. I was like, damn, I paid $40 for nothing.
Yeah, I'll say we joked because me, you, the whole crew, us, Caleb, Ivan, that happened after we all bought it. After we all pre-ordered it.
It's so funny, bro. Like, this is a part of the reason why Game Pass is so special, because there's time and time again we've paid $60 for these games that end up, it's like they no longer support, or it just turns out to be bad. It's like, no wonder why the gaming community is very like apprehensive on buying shit. You know what I'm saying?
And or at least pre-ordering.
Yeah, yeah.
Didn't pre-order Battlefield, held the line.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah, pre-ordering is a whole other thing too. It's like, because I know there's a, that's kind of been a whole thing, even from a GameStop perspective. I guess quick side note for everybody.
We do that a lot. Welcome.
Yes, this is the podcast of side notes. But they're doing that GameStop movie. Yeah, talking about the big stock hedge fund squeeze.
I feel like me, you, and every ex-employee and or possibly current employee, they're like, you're telling me I could have put a significant amount of money into the stock of my ex, or depending who you are, current employer, and fucking retired.
Yeah, it's so funny because I remember, being store manager meetings and the HR guy like, oh yeah, like you can even do that if you want to. And I was just like, man, that made no sense doing that. I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
I could have like $10,000 or something.
Yeah, I mean, because here's the thing. What that hedge fund did, which was essentially, the hedge fund was essentially doing what hedge funds do, and in short, trying to destroy the stock of a company to bankrupt the company. Shocker! Stock market company synonymous with bad things. Oh no! What?
Yeah.
So we joke, but that could have been anything. It could have been the Barnes and Noble stock, another company circling the drain. It could have been fucking anything. It just happened to be GameStop,
right?
And it just was a funny meme. It just was a funny meme. I do want to see that movie because another thing that that came from that is all these stock companies like Robinhood, whose motto is loosely like stock is for you, or not just for the rich, whatever. But then because Robinhood, that stock market app which lets you purchase and monitor your stocks, they had a stake in the hedge fund.
Right.
So because people were bankrupting the hedge fund illegally, like they went to court, there's a fine, there's an ongoing shit about it, but like Will Ferrell jokingly put when it comes to the FEC, wow, you guys are good, nothing gets past you. I don't put, unfortunately, when it comes to accountability in hedge funds and stocks, I don't put too much faith in the repercussions of Robinhood, but Robinhood illegally started preventing people from buying that stock.
Yeah,
it prevented people from buying the GameStop stock, which is again, 1, against their terms, 2, against their own motto, and 3, fucking illegal.
Right, illegal. Yeah.
But the GameStop movie is coming out about that, and like we're talking, man, like we owe it to ourselves. We got to see it. Yeah, we got to see the fact our ex employers involved in like this once in a generation, which is a phrase we've been saying too many fucking times. Once in a generation fucking event.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, exactly. Crazy times.
I have one tangent, but it is relative to this. Speaking of Star Wars games, the footage recently came out of the canceled 1313.
Yes, that's right. We were talking about that before we recorded. Yeah, crazy.
I love and hate when that happens. What I mean by that is I love and hate when footage comes out of a canceled game, because you're like, wow, that looks cool, and then part of you goes, look what can never be. It's like
this was neat, huh? And then you just close it.
And
close the door.
And again, this goes back to EA. Again, that's why many people are happy, and it is a good thing. EA is losing exclusivity to its IPs. Now, now even if you say, hey, Fallen Order is good and Fallen Order 2 is coming out, that's fine. But as a big picture, lack of competition creates bad things. Look at Madden. Also, fucking EA.
Yeah, the variety factor.
So again, now that competition's coming, I'm hoping good things. I'm hoping that on a large scale, Star Wars games will once again be synonymous with good things, and not fucking microtransactions, not Disney stock, not cancellations, not Farmville. That's not EA, but I have to mention it.
I mean, it's unfortunately there's got to be one of those things, but we'll see. Just the best outcome, right? Best outcome for the gamer. So, and then just as a quick, speaking of side notes and games and love and life, Arthur wanted to make sure that we mention this on the show.
Yep.
So if you're a fan of fighting games, you're probably a fan of Ed Boone, or Ed Boone has been a part of your life, whether directly or indirectly. The co-creator of Mortal Kombat and Injustice. Recently,
he's not stalking you, by the way.
He's not stalking you.
That shadow you see outside your house, that's not him. I'm just saying,
whether
you know it or not, he's been a part of your life. Lock your door. Like, okay.
And Chupacabra, no. So recently he was inducted into the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences Hall of Fame. I think this is the clap one. I'm not sure. It is.
You get the boo.
Yeah, I know. I got the laugh one. I'm like, oh shit.
Arts and entertainment. Go fuck yourself.
Fuck you, man. Should have been me, bro.
It's not the Oscars.
So, this should be interesting. Let me read this. So, according to IGN, it says here in quote, as part of the 25th annual Dice Awards, Boone will join Bethesda's Todd Howard. Nintendo Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yay!
Valve's Gabe Newell.
Fuck that.
Whoa. And then Xbox's Bonnie Ross with other industry legends in the Hall of Fame. The award is given to game creators who have been instrumental in the development of highly influential games and moving a particular genre forward. Boone began his career programming pinball machines before moving into the video game development and co-creating Mortal Kombat with John Tobias.
Midway was that pinball company. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is the game's stereo controversy for its depiction of ludicrous ultra-violence, but has come apart of the fighting game firmament over 11 mainline installments. Boone went on to create NetherRealm Studios, which added much-loved DC superhero series Injustice to its fight the game lineup. In quote, dude, like, if PlayStation's gonna buy something, if they buy it, fucking NetherRealm, like, that would be fucking amazing.
One thing we skimmed over, but we did mention, or Joel's put, as we mentioned, we put stories on Instagram. February 1st is an announcement that's who Sony bought.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And everyone's guessing who. Last week we mentioned possibly Capcom, possibly Square Enix, two companies that have huge ties to Sony and multiple, mainly, and the reason we mentioned those are two that have a long history of Sony exclusives. Yeah. NetherRealm, again, Sony has a long history of fighting games. They own Evo, as Church mentioned. So NetherRealm, again, right up their alley of potentially being a company that Sony buys exclusively. And I like the story. We mentioned it. We just want to mention it because I feel like, again, with stuff like this, just mentioned in the news, it legitimizes the industry.
Yeah.
And anything that does that, I like. And if you're thinking, and for those of you that really know what I'm talking about, I'm just saying anything that, what I mean by legitimize the industry is just, that goes away from the stigma of like, oh, every gamer is playing in his mom's basement. Bitch, I live in California. What the fuck is a basement? But you know what I mean. And it's like, oh, I don't date no man that plays games. Oh, fine, go date a guy that does other fucking dumb shit. Sorry to shit on every non-gamer.
But Arthur's passionate about this.
Sorry, I had no way to stick that landing cleanly. I was like, I'm already
feel like games. Fuck you.
Dude, I felt like
you.
I felt like verbally I was Ricky Bobby, like I'm in the air. Like I was like, well, I can't stick this. But again, I like I like things like this. Like as we mentioned, what I think it was Respawn. Technically, was it Respawn the first game to win an Oscar?
Yeah,
and it was for Medal of Honor. It was for
like a documentary.
Yeah. It was for a documentary linked with. It was for a documentary linked with Medal of Honor. Which, on the side note, the cool thing about the Medal of Honor franchise that's always been there is they always link it to real stuff. It's always like real. It's always real missions. They show you photos from if you play a mission, either before or after the mission, they show you photos from the actual incursion, from the actual battlefield.
Right.
So Respawn did a documentary. They won an Oscar, first video game, anything to do that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Amazing.
And now at Boone winning in this arts and entertainment, this is up his alley. And again, because it was along the line of heavily, or is it like something that affected the industry of gaming? Mortal Kombat. I mean, Mortal Kombat, like, just on face value, remember, Mortal Kombat is the reason we have the NSRB system.
Yeah.
The entire system of T for teen and for mature exists because of Mortal Kombat. So, I don't even know what movie is responsible for that rating system, but I can tell you what game's responsible for the NSRB rating system. Fucking Ed Boon, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and this comes on the heels of sequel got announced. Mortal Kombat 2 sequels being greenlit.
Yes.
And I'm excited for that. I like the first one. I was nervous when they said, and then if you've watched the movie, I think it's on HBO. If you watch the movie, they made like a new character so that the movies are kind of focused in the world of Mortal Kombat versus like a hard copy and paste game, which I like. And as we discussed, any video game movie is hard because you never know, is it going to do one game? Is it going to be a compilation of games? Is it going to ignore all the games but yet be in the world of it?
Right.
It's tough. It's this on face value, taking a video game franchise like Mortal Kombat and making a movie screenplay wise is difficult. I think they did a good job. I love the violence in the movie. I'm so glad it's rated R. If they're announced Mortal Kombat movie PG-13, already fuck you.
Oh, just close the studio.
Just
it's not even worth it if you're not gonna make it rated R.
Yeah, if you can't make a movie that's as gory, if not gorier, than the game's fatalities, why are you fucking trying?
Yeah.
But the movie has confirmed sequels greenlit, and I'm looking forward to it, man. I want to see it.
Now, one of my predictions here, and speaking of movie games or movie video games on the prowl, are one of our America's most muscly, entertaining folks, The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson. He was teasing on the internet as far as he's a part of a video game that's been around for quite some time. I'm kind of thinking he's going to be in Mortal Kombat, maybe, but I'm not 100% certain.
People are guessing he's going to be
in Gears.
The second I said that, I forgot his fucking name. Shao Kahn.
Oh, Shao Kahn.
Is that him? I can't think of the word. Is that him?
Is that him as in the main guy?
The leader of NetherRealm? The reason I said that is because there's speculation. One, he's in Mortal Kombat. Two, if he's in Mortal Kombat, he's that guy.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. I got nothing, like we said before recording, I got nothing against The Rock. It's just the second you hear The Rock's in movies, you know to the T the character you're getting. you can picture his voice, you can picture his look, that's who you're getting.
Yeah. Eye candy for all the gals.
I mean, it's like some guys. Hey, starring Vin Diesel. Cool. Yep. Versatility is not synonymous with some actors.
I will say the movies that were definitely different and challenged their acting ability for Vin Diesel, A Man Apart, good movie. And then for The Rock, he did a movie called Snitch, which is very good. Very, very different. Had to
Snitch.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You absolutely said the word snitch. I thought Snatch, the Guy Ritchie movie. And I'm like, The Rock is nowhere near in that fucking
He can't
movie.
do a Guy Ritchie.
He
Yeah.
is not in that fucking British movie. The Rock doing. Oi, mate. Like,
I would love to see the attempt, but yeah, exactly. That's not happening.
I mean, Brad Pitt nailed that Pikey accent, but that's Brad Pitt.
But anyway,
Periwinkle Blue. Now, if he's not in that, what else would he be in? Last of Us is a show.
yeah,
Halo is a show. Is the other incoming game movie we forgot?
There was rumors, but nothing confirmed as far as for Gears of War. I was talking to friend Corey. We're talking about how Dave Bautista, he pitched a Gears of War story.
Oh, dude, to the point where Dave Bautista is like his skin's a DLC in Gears of War 5.
Yeah,
which I'm for it.
Wow.
So, okay, I'll say this. The Rock and Dave as Felix and Dom, I'm here for it.
That'd be kind of cool.
I'm here for it.
That'd be kind of cool.
As much as I was just 30 seconds ago kind of shitting on The Rock.
He'd be a good Dom.
Another game not known on a large scale for its performances.
Yeah.
Fucking chainsaw gun. Felix and Dom, The Rock and Dave. Okay, I'd be here for that.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. That has to be a radar movie too. So only BS.
Dude, that'd be such a.
Film
if
industry.
that happens, that'd be such a kick to the balls. If after years of pitching it, Dave Bautista gets casted as Dom. That'd
be so fucked. It's like, oh, what do you work his fetus? Sorry, he actually better in the rehearsals.
Okay, now I want this. Now, God damn it! Now I want this to happen. Okay. Now I want this to happen. Coltrane, Idris Elba.
Oh, that would be dope. That would be dope.
It's like, just fuck it. Throw all the cool, badass, beefy people as it. Fuck it. Who's buff but sounds smart? Fuck it. Give him a wig. We've seen him without a mustache.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him with blonde hair. Fuck it. Henry Cavill as Baird.
Okay.
Just fuck it.
Yeah, he's a big video game guy too, so he would play it too.
He's a big beefy guy.
He's a big dude, yeah.
I am in that crowd where for some reason a portion of a British accent does sound more intelligent. I don't know why. It's just a portion, not all of it. Now, it's like not when they name some of their stuff, like, oh, they name a light switch a flickety wigget. I don't know. But, oh man, dude, Dom, that's just dreaming right there. But fuck it, Dom. Dave, The Rock, Idris Elba, Henry Cavill. Boom, you're welcome.
There you go.
Pay me, Hollywood.
We'll wait for our direct deposit. So speaking of violent games, to wrap up the show here, I wanted to talk about this hilarious story that I thought was significant.
I'm already laughing.
This is super hilarious. But so according to Forbes.com, it says here a quote here that what many don't realize actually, let me start with this. Grand Theft Auto players know what it's like working for a Mexican cartel, but they do so from their comfort in their bedroom. What many don't realize is the real life cartel recruiters are playing the game and recruiting players for real life work. Last year, Mexican police revealed youngsters were being recruited by drug cartels over popular video games, including Grand Theft Auto Online, though there was little in the way of evidence. According to a case unearthed by Forbes, it appears that the U.S. has gathered evidence that GTA Online really is a recruitment tool for Mexico's narcotic cartels. November last year, Customs and Border Protection officials in Arizona were suspected a Jeep Cherokee that they found nearby 20 kilos of methamphetamine, the government said. Holy shit.
60.
Oh, 60, sorry. When they asked the driver, Alyssa Navarro, the story was that she said in January that they had been playing Grand Theft Auto Online when she met a man who called himself George, according to a search warrant sealed late last week. After getting to know each other within the game, Navarro said that they eventually started talking on Snapchat and later met in person in Phoenix, investigators claimed. The suspector said that George asked her over Snapchat if he'd like to do some work as a runner. shipping electronics so they could be sold in Mexico, telling her that she could be paid as much as $2,000 a trip depending on how big the load was, according to the government filing. That is fucking hilarious. Let me just do this last thing here. It says federal investigators obtained the Snapchat messages from Navarro's phone in which George promises, and quote, a lot of money, and offered the use of a truck believed to be the same Jeep in which she was apprehended. I'll just end quote there because I think this is just really fucking funny.
I got one more for you. It's same article.
Go ahead.
Is God, this article is just hilarious. Last October, Mexican. Oh, that was weird. Last October, Mexican law enforcement in Oaxaca said 3 minors had been recruited over popular mobile battle royale game Free Fire. The kids had been offered around $200 a week as cartel lookouts.
So they've been using video games in general to recruit. That is insane, bro. And then I'm gonna say this too. Take two. if you got us waiting on Grand Theft Auto 6, and at this point, you got the cartels just picking up players, all right? Make the game. Make GTA 6. Give us some updates. Right now, GTA Online is just a resource for the cartel at this point because it's been up for so long. We've had Grand Theft Auto 5 for 7-8 years.
Oh,
what the hell?
You want to know what's funny and proves your point? Look at the image. I'm currently showing Jarrell is the image of a box copy of GTA 5. It's for the 360.
Exactly. It's like,
dude, I like
Jesus.
It's like what do dedicated teachers and cartel members have in common? They both ask themselves, how do I reach these kids?
Dude, it's wild, bro.
Hey, I mean, dude, I like. By the way, I like that meme I sent you of fucking border patrol logging on the GTA Online, but they get stuck in the loading screen for the server.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Tell them to protect our borders, goddammit. And just cue the fucking GTA menu music we've all heard for 7 fucking years, playing for like super long,
right? Dude.
Or maybe a little bit less, thanks to that one hero that fixed it for 70% faster.
Right, exactly, and for not that much money.
This is a funny. I mean, this is a funny story.
Yeah,
I know that the cartels aren't funny. Well, I'm fucking laughing. So,
it's like, no, this is very funny. It's just hilarious.
Hey kids. You want shark cards in real life?
Yeah, if anything, this is just like, oh wow, like that's interesting.
They didn't.
Holy crap!
To the minors, I can speak to, but I don't know. They didn't release the age of. I like how they didn't release. I don't think they said the age of the lady.
Oh,
no,
no,
I totally feel like Alyssa Navarro. Isn't that like an actress's name? I'm not saying
sounds
it's her.
like somebody.
It just rings a bell, like Alyssa Navarro.
Actress, yeah. Sounds like it.
I feel like I've heard the phrase "starring" precede that name. Just starring Alyssa Navarro, like a show or a movie or something.
Running drugs, man. It's crazy.
But to the kids, I feel like things are different for us because we were raised in a generation we were there when the internet existed.
Yeah.
And the one thing I will say to like stupid or funny government ads is there was a heavy presence or pressure, at least I remember, of like treat the internet as stranger danger. The second parents found out chat rooms exist, woo, like everyone jumped on it. Who the fuck are your kids talking to?
Right.
Which I don't know generationally where that stopped, because I felt like that was a big thing of people like telling parents, hey, know what the fuck your kids are doing online. Now it's like now you get like, what do you mean my son spent 20 grand on Fortnite? Like there's something happened.
Yeah.
Like there's a generational gap there was a generational gap, hey, maybe it was because the fact that, for a lot of poor people like myself, internet came in the mail in a fucking Chex Mix box.
Right. Exactly.
And it's like, Turns out it's hard to join drug cartel members when you can only use internet 3 days a week till you buy more cereal.
Right. That's hilarious. Yeah, everyone's got a phone now, so it's like ease of access.
Yeah, fucking Blizzard knows it. What? You don't got a phone? Oh, fuck you. Sorry, it's just like fucking bingo where like once an episode I have to shit on EA, GTA, and like Blizzard. Or at least that Blizzard mobile shit. Hashtag I'll never forgive.
Well, on that note, gonna wrap it up here for the Gamers for Life podcast. Again, each and every Saturday discussing all things games here. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, Arthur Thomas.
That's me, and if a guy named George offers you money in GTA, just say no, kids.
There you go. You heard it, folks. All right, have a good one.